Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Viewer discretion is advised for this video because what I'm about to tell you is going to make you absolutely sick to your stomach, but it may ultimately blow your mind in the process. So what if I told you that just by opening your eyes and realizing the model that is presented to you as reality holds the key to understanding that everything you've ever been told is nothing more than wizardry to convince you of a reality that does not exist and hide the truth as well as your creator and origin from you? What if I told you you don't need any scientific proof at all? All you have to do is apply logic. And I'm not talking about curvature. I'm not talking about anything along the lines of flat earth. It's simply opening your eyes and understanding that people who have come to master the art of wizardry, which is the crafting of human language in and of itself. Why do you think the words that we write are considered spells? Spelling. The words that we write are spellings. They are a spell. They are binding. Wordcraft. You got to understand, everything around you is designed to manipulate, brainwash, and ultimately deceive you into believing a reality in which does not exist. For all I know, you and I may not exist. At least not in the capacity that we believe we do. So what do they do from the moment that you walk into school and you first start learning about the solar system? A, they've already indoctrinated you into the globe Earth model. B, they've already indoctrinated you into accepting being lied to by indoctrinating Santa Claus into your mind from the minute you were born and manipulating your behavior so you could get presents on Christmas Day. They've already done that. They've already preconditioned you to accept everything they tell you by teaching you to memorize facts in order to pass a test. Otherwise, your entire life is sacrificed, or you're cast off into society's out dredges that nobody wants to deal with in special education classes or safe schools or whatever the hell they have going on nowadays. They teach you to conform. They teach you to give up every bit of your identity. And then when you first step into that classroom, in order to succeed, you must accept that information that they teach you, and even if you question it, if you put your answer on that test, you fail. Teaching you that you must conform to get ahead in life. Period. The end. This is all wizardry. This is all magic. We call it social engineering, propaganda. It's all the same fucking thing. So you step into that science room, and the teacher starts talking about the infinite space around you, outside of this place you live called Earth. They never explain to you why the atmosphere of Earth doesn't get sucked off into atmosphere. They substitute it by inserting the word gravity and telling you gravity holds it here, but they never tell you gravity is a theory. Not once. Yes, we say the theory of gravity. However, we were never taught properly what a theory is. It was never brought up, even if you were. You say theory of gravity without even thinking about it and just accept it as truth. Furthermore, they teach you that galaxies are so infinite that there are more galaxies than there are grains of sand on the sphere on which you live. And not only that, those grains of sand have an infinite amount of planets inside of them. So, everything inside your mind that you could possibly imagine comes into existence point blank, bam, in that moment in time when somebody tells you it is possible for that to exist. And because you are conditioned through society to accept being lied to from the minute you are born, and by putting answers that you may not believe on tests in order to conform, you fall into this vicious cycle of falling for the wizardry of the world around you. What is more likely? Think about this for a moment. What are the odds that humans evolved on Earth? Infinite. Infinite. You can't even calculate them. What are the odds that our Earth formed after the Big Bang? Infinite. What are the odds that our entire solar system formed the way that it did and working in perfect unison, all on one ecliptic plane? All of us are right in line with each other. Why? Infinite. There's no way to calculate any of these probabilities or statistical probabilities of any of this happening. Okay? And you can drag that line of thinking forever. So, think about this from a mathematician's point of view. What are the odds that all of these things would happen in perfect unison to bring the world that we see into existence? What are the odds of that in the grand scheme of things? 0, nil. Uncalculably close to 0. It is absolutely mind-boggling. Now we're going to take this premise one step further. I told you, in that moment, everything in your mind becomes possible. Everything snaps into existence at that moment in time. But what exists between all of these places you've created in your mind? The absolute void of space, of course. Radiation, a few particles here and there, asteroid belts, but it's a area that is uninhabitable by any living life form that we can conceive of in our minds. It is the antithesis of everything that the natural world presents us. Is there anywhere on the face of the earth that a vacuum is created and sustained infinitely? Is there? No. Nothing on the face of this planet, on the face of this plane, on the face of this realm, nothing in our existence that we have ever touched with our own hands, saw with our 2 eyes, or perceived with our physical body has ever told us that a vacuum can exist and sustain itself on Earth. Nothing. So what is more likely? Let's take this one step further and start looking at the symmetries between everything you see around you. The Fibonacci sequence, the flower of life, the human genome. Like, everything that you see around you, if not by design, is like saying, it's not even like saying a tornado went through a freaking airplane graveyard and put together a Boeing 737, okay? This is like saying you turned on your IBM computer one day and came back a week later and you had a AAA game developed without you having to program any code on your own. It just spontaneously came into existence. There is no way that is possible. All we have to do is open our eyes and realize common sense tells us that what we've been presented as truth is bullshit. All of it. Everything you have ever been told is true needs to be questioned 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt. And if you yourself cannot confirm it, why are you hanging on to it? What do you have to gain from buying into this system any longer? Look at the life that you're living right now. Look at the way that we are living right now. Do you know your neighbor's name? Do you? I'm just sick of seeing this artificial bullshit. I'm sick of seeing everybody judging everybody, looking at people in prison like they're criminals. Man, motherfucker, every single one of us, if we made one wrong decision, would have been screwed. It is the system that we are living in that is destroying us. And it's destroying us because we have let wizards and warlocks mesmerize us into believing in ourselves and our ego. And they fed into our fear, our imagination. They fed into what makes us human to destroy what makes us human. And if you're telling me that you haven't seen a leap in depravity over the last 20 years, I don't know what to tell you. Look at the way the media is using words against the population right now. If you thought Germany's propaganda during World War II was wizardry, all you have to do is open your eyes and watch TV for more than 20 minutes. Go back and watch a Super Bowl halftime show and tell me that wizardry isn't being used to convince you that anything you create in your mind is possible, when in fact the natural world tells you 90% of what you've been told, if not everything you've been told, is bullshit. Because I'm telling you right now, the fact that the atmosphere of Earth doesn't get sucked off into space due to the vacuum of it breaks the second law of thermodynamics. A law. Gravity is a theory. The law of thermodynamics is observed in the natural world 100% of the time and is an infallible test. Thank you. Come again. Open your mind and realize you've been played by wizards.